I'm Vin.
I'm sorry.
And this is the entire, we actually have the entire village with us right now. You just don't know it. Welcome. So what we're doing is really, really cool. It's a live listen session where we're shooting a regular video like normal, but we also have 99 of our closest friends with us.
Yeah, we assume that some of you are responsible and working a regular job. So when this video gets released, you'll be able to watch it on your own time.
Way to low-key diss our constituents. That's Sorry. And as Ben Webb pointed out, Sorry is evil. Now, speaking of evil, for timely topical political commentary, you can hit us up in Middle America with Vin and Sorry. We also have another channel that we're not going to actually mention right now because we're cooking up something really, really interesting. We want to bring you guys along.
I think that means it's my cooking channel, right?
You're wrong. You would be wrong
but
if you made such an assumption. Also,
I'm Instapotting everything right now.
Who is this brought to us by
This
the way?
is brought to us by the big homie, Brian.
Shout out to the big homie, Brian. If you, dear listener, would like your song review, there are multiple options. My favorite is the community option. $1 at the gate gets you in a Patreon. You get to join an alliance. You get to meet all the cool people. It's really cool stuff, depending on what tier you're on. So, for example, Sorry and I have a song that we're going to be recording with our guitarist and our bassist and our drummer, blah, blah, blah. And we're also doing a video on it. It's going to be like professionally shot video on it. And the first people that are going to see it are going to be folks at the $15 tier and above. I think it's going to be a whole thing. And I think we're going to allow them to have a +1 or something like that.
The way to join is on Patreon. If you look at the link in the description, you will find it there. Also,
if you're a patron, keep in mind it's like February 2nd or something like that. And so they're starting to do the billing. So if you know, a lot of times people do subscription services and then they forget that they signed up for a subscription service. So keep in mind they're going to start doing the deductions between now and...
Or they may have already done it.
...and the 4th. If times are tough for you and you meant to unsubscribe or change your whatever, send a note to Sorry on Patreon. She'll take care of you.
No problem.
If you don't want to join an alliance on Patreon, then all you have to do is $125 gets you straight to the head of the line, vinandsorymerch@gmail.com at PayPal, or you can hit the $125 tier on Patreon, and that's what the big homie did. So without further ado, this is Celldweller.
Okay, ready?
Switchback. Let's go.
Follow the link in the description to be with us.
This is another one of those.
Switchback. Help me decline. Too late to look back. Ain't okay, I got no way to switch back. You close my open mind. Too late to look back. Ain't okay, I got no way to switch back. Everybody fooling with their regret, and it's about the time you put a damn money back. Me and Nina, we take up this slack. Let down the Celldweller with no way to switch back.
This is fun!
Switch back. Switch back. Too late to look back. Ain't okay, I've got no way to switch back. Everybody fooling with their regret, and it's about the time you put a damn money back. Me and Nina, we take up this slack. Lay down and Celldweller with nowhere to switch back. Too late to look back. Got no way to switch back now. It's too late to look back. Got no way to switch back now. Too late to look back. No way to switch back. Too late to look back. No way to switch back.
This would be a fun one to switch back.
Switch back. Switch back. Too late to look back. Too late. Ain't okay, I've got no way to switch back. Everybody fooling with their regret, and it's about the time you put a damn money back. Me and Nina, we take up this slack. Lay down and Celldweller with nowhere to switch back. Cutting you with razor blade. going to masquerade. If you with ease or trade, the Celldweller is unafraid. Too late to look back. Ain't okay, I got no way to switch back. Too late to look back. Got no way to switch back. Too late to look back. Ain't okay, I got no way to switch back. Too late to look back. No way to switch back. Too late to look back. No way to switch back. Ain't okay, I got no way to switch back. Switch back. Switch back. Too late to look back. Ain't okay, I got no way to switch back. Too late to look back. Ain't okay, I got no way to switch back. Switch back. Ain't okay, I got no way to switch back.
Okay, that one's fun.
That one
I'm
was.
a fan.
I think we've done a Celldweller song before, haven't we?
Oh,
Pretty sure-
yeah.
pretty sure
Yeah, I
we've
think
done
we
a-
did.
I'm pretty sure we've done a Celldweller song before. So that song was I was expecting like a death metal band because I forgot who they were, but I'm pretty sure we did these guys.
We
are
did
kinda
So
like,
Long Sentiment versus. Oh, we did.
We did two. Baptized in
Elysium?
Fire 3. New Elysium. Okay.
Oh yeah, New Elysium. I like that one too.
That was yours. Okay. So these guys were the guys. I remember. I forgot who came after me about it. It was somebody was like, because I said something about Korn. Korn did this record called Path to Totality where they mixed the new metal with it wasn't techno. It was dubstep. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, Korn came up with this new thing, blah, blah, blah. And all the people are, Celldweller, you idiot. They were doing that long before Korn. I think it was Kellendross. Kellendross always did. But, like, still, this wasn't like that, though. It was, like, it was more techno-electro, but it still had, like, it featured that, like, one little new metal riff that kind of, you know, and this was written in 2004, I think. Yeah, 2004. So that's kind of like right as new metal was like going. But this band's got its own thing.
Yeah.
Isn't this a band where like there's one guy?
Oh my gosh.
I'm pretty sure.
I think you're right.
This is one of those bands where it's one guy because he mentions.
I think you're right.
He said he mentions the name Clayton. Right here, Clayton and Celldweller with no way to switch back. Which Clayton is the name of the guy that did this. Yeah, see right there. It's one guy. Clayton does everything.
Oh yay! Okay. So Brian, that's his song.
Oh, okay. Brian is in the house.
What's up, Brian?
What's up, Brian? Okay, so yeah, so that's the guy. He does everything. So he says Clayton. He says Clayton and Celldweller with no way to switch back, which you know, which is a hip hop thing where you're like you refer to yourself.
Yeah.
In the song, like you get kind of meta because most of the time, in metal. Like,
Here, use my.
They're playing the role and they're not whatever.
So leave the comments up so I can see if Brian says anything else. And then over here,
yes. Owl City is the heaviest band ever. Somebody said. Owl City is that thing that Orion likes. Okay.
Fireflies.
So this is funny because lyrically, this kind of goes along with what we said before we jumped on the video, like live, because we were talking about. You know, making certain decisions, that we've made certain decisions as a family.
Yes.
That and partly due to the influence of a certain villager.
The man, the myth.
I'm not gonna name him. But
What?
yeah,
You already said Captain.
Captain Pants. Well, that's not his name in my phone. So like. You know, it's talking about that moment where you make a decision and you can't go backwards. And there's some decisions that are like that. He says, everybody fooling with their rick-rack, and it's about time we put them on their back. Meaner and leaner, we'll take up the slack, Clayton and Celldweller with no way to switch back. Cutting you up with a razor blade, going to a masquerade, hitting you with rip-rap, easy trade, and the Celldwellers aren't afraid, so...
The song came out in 2000.
2004...
Brian says 2000.
Oh, came out 2000. Okay.
So
maybe it's a remix.
my thing is, I was talking about this the other night when I was feeling rather nice. That there's this phrase that says, well, it's this show that I'm watching, and it says like always forward, never backwards. And like when they said it in the show, I was like, that's pretty corny. But then like when I had more time to like think about that phrase, I was like, you know what? That is a really good phrase. Maybe it sounds a little bit corny, but like if you can adopt that mindset into your life, like, look, you can't go back. You can't change the past. Some decisions that you make are literally you burned that freaking bridge and you're not going back. And so you can live by looking always backwards and wishing that you could change something you can never change, or you can say, you know what, this is the foundation that I've built for myself, and even if it's a crappiest foundation ever, I need to start rebuilding my foundation if I need to, or start building whatever it is, just move forward. Because looking back, it doesn't help you. The only thing that you can do is just say, okay, I'm going to learn from the mistakes I made on this foundation and go forward.
Yeah, I don't know. Like, there's certain relationships where, like, it's funny because we're usually on the opposite sides of these things. I just think there's certain relationships where, you know, if the bridge is on fire, you can go backwards and put out the fire. You see what I'm saying? Like, I think bridge burning in relationships should be extremely rare.
I wasn't actually talking about relationships, but I see what you're saying. Yeah, that's very important to add into it. If it's a relationship, then yes, you should always try to go back and patch up that bridge.
Like, for example, like, we've just made a major life change in our family.
Yep.
And it did not come about as... there's a lot of thought, a lot of prayer, and on top of that, we're not in a situation where it's like completely jumping out of an airplane.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like in 6 months when, you know, stuff pops off and we're shooting our, hey, I left blah, blah, blah. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, I'm thinking about that like already because I'm like, that's not really the case. Like, we were doing pretty good without that thing. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And so it's like, you know what I mean? So
no, I know.
I just think that like when
that was part of my 1000%.
Right. As a veteran of situations where you have to kind of turn your back and not look back, like what I've learned is those situations should be free, professionally or personally. I think like that should come with a lot of thought. But at the same time, like I think people fall on
it should
different extremes. Like some people never do it, and the bridge is like completely gone, and they're using duct tape and like leaning over to try to connect the parts, and it's like, yo, it's dead, bro, let it go. Mm-hmm. And then there are other people who are just like too quick and they just make all these rash decisions, and they're unstable. Mm-hmm. But like this song, it's kind of a little bit deceptive because it's like, oh, it's just this kind of new metal electro song and it's got a nice beat, but he's actually saying some
I see what you're saying.
He's saying something really. He's, you know, you helped me decline, too late to look back, ain't okay, you got no way to switch back, you closed my open mind, and everybody fooling with their rick-rack, and maybe it's about time we put him on their back, meaning maybe somebody like caused him to doubt himself in you know, his musical ability or whatever, and this is him like reclaiming his place and saying no, like he's got a vision for how the music's gonna sound, and he's gonna go with it, and he doesn't care what you say or how you think, like he's gonna go for it.
Look, two things Brian said. One is that this is not the album version, this is a better version in his opinion. Also, they named one of their kids Orion. I think the Switchback right here, Clayton, named one of his children Orion.
Ha!
Yes!
He stole that idea from me!
Our son too is named Orion.
Guarantee you his son's older than our son, which would mean that we copied off of him, but we did.
No.
We copied off of Satan.
Literally.
There's a wonderful heritage for you, my son.
Wow.
No way to switch black, no way to look back. You know what's funny? It's like, have you ever really wondered about that whole Lot situation with his wife? She got turned into
I've thought of it so many times.
Pillar of salt because she looked back.
I've thought of it so many times, and honestly, the story bothers me. I feel like that there's something that
They're fleeing Sodom and Gomorrah.
Right.
God's like wrecking shop, and then the angels are like, "Listen, just keep moving forward. Don't go back.
Don't look back."
And Shorty turns around and looks back, and then God makes her into a pillar of salt. Maybe it because if she looked back, maybe she was gonna go back into the situation, and then obviously that's your girl, so Lot's gonna follow, and then obviously that's your dad, so the two girls are gonna follow. So maybe it was one of those things where God was like,
The only way to spare the whole family.
the only way to spare the whole family is to kill this broad. But then it's like, well, couldn't you have paralyzed her? Then she wouldn't have been able to go anywhere. Why'd you have to kill her?
I know, and into a pillar of salt, so she's like still standing there. So
Yeah,
she's just
terrifying. Terrifying stuff. Terrifying stuff. Do you believe that literally happened?
there. And see, this is what I've thought about over and over. Is I'm like, did it literally happen, or, you know, I'm like, salt is like a mineral, and was it supposed to mean something else, or? I
Maybe
think that I keep landing with that it literally happened.
Maybe she got calcified in that thing. And you know, that's the closest she could come in Hebrew. I believe something literally happened to her where she was...
Yeah, there, but not there.
I was watching this thing on Discovery Channel, like these calcium deposits around where Sodom and Gomorrah was supposed to be, or whatever. People were like, holy shit, what's this? But yeah, I believe it literally happened. But yeah, that's like the ultimate, like, do not look back situation.
Yeah, I just don't understand. But yeah, like you're saying, maybe it's because he knew that if she looked back, she was going back.
Yeah, well,
But how can you think somebody's not going to look back on their
well, the others
where they
did.
came from?
Well, they weren't born there.
Yeah, but I wasn't. If I was in a place I wasn't born, but if the place was on fire,
I wasn't born.
How are you not gonna?
I wasn't born in America.
You're gonna feel the heat of the flames behind you and not turn around? I mean,
yeah, and it must have been pretty loud too.
just out of curiosity.
And they were on fire, so it must
and
have
the
been pretty
people
loud.
yelling and stuff. Yeah, how can you not turn around?
Yeah, I mean,
I just
don't
feel
know.
like that's a little bit.
Are you judging the Almighty for wrecking Lot's
It
wife?
does
She
sound
got what
like
she
that's
got.
what I'm doing.
She got what she got. You should have turned around. That's what Jesus said. Remember Lot's wife.
I know.
That was in the context of 70 AD, though.
Right.
So it's the same thing. City
Right.
going into judgment, blah, blah,
And they
blah.
were supposed to
I don't
just
think
get
it
out
was
of
like a glance. I think it was like a longing, like she wanted to go back and, you know, remember the good old days in Sodom when we were, you know, raping immigrants, things like that. Because that's what they were doing. That's what they would do. Yeah, but I do think, like, I will say, though, it is exciting to be in a situation where it's like, all right, you just crossed the line, man.
Oh, I love it.
Like today, like
I feel very alive.
we just crossed
To
the
be honest
line.
with you.
We just crossed the line, and it's like, all right, let's do it. Okay, come on. And it's a cool feeling.
Yeah, well, sometimes there's decisions that you make that are like completely based in faith, where it's like, you know, like you're stepping out into nothing and you find out there's something there, that whole idea.
Yeah.
And then there's other things that are like, this is so obvious that it doesn't quite feel so much of a risk.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's still.
I know it's still a risk, it just doesn't feel as much of a risk. It just,
Yeah.
it's very exciting.
Yeah,
There's
yeah.
always bet on yourself, Captain Pants says.
Yeah, yeah, and you know, it's like, it's cool too, because I'm not just betting on myself, I'm betting on you too. Like,
All of us.
we've
It's a family affair.
yeah, but we've got a history of starting stuff up from nothing. That's
Yeah.
almost impossible.
Yeah, and some of the times we're not even intentionally doing it. Like the channel.
Right.
This was not something we were trying to get subscribers.
And the other thing too that we started up initially wasn't really that purposeful. I just wanted
It's
to go
true.
down. I just wanted to go down there. And
Matter
do
of fact, you were saying you didn't want to do it. And
Correct.
I was saying you need to do it.
Correct. So
You know how you are when your heart's not in something.
we'll let you guys know the story at some point.
We are recording like short videos of it, so you'll be able to.
Yeah, like we said, there's going to be a channel and all that stuff. You're going to be able to watch all of it.
Yeah.
It's already chock full of drama. Holy moly. Yeah, so I think this song has a really, 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 really good message in it. You know, talking about, Celldweller's unafraid. Like, maybe he got into some dispute with the record label where they're like, look, if you don't do X, Y, and Z. But he's an independent guy, right? Like, he puts up, I think he
I
just...
don't know.
I
Brian,
think he puts out his own
he's independent,
stuff.
right?
I think he puts out his own stuff, with his own. So he's just like, you know what? I'm just gonna do my thing, man. I don't care what anybody says. So this is basically a remix. Brian is saying it's better than the original. Because
Then yes, exactly,
I
it
was
is.
looking at some of the lyrics on Genius. I'm like, this isn't right. And then I went to Trello and did it, and because he had included the right one. Thank you very much, by the way, to all the folks. Yeah, so this song was really, really good in that regard, and it was actually very, very timely.
I know. What are the chances it got played today? It's like,
what are the odds?
Yep, it's
what are the odds?
It's like someone's behind it all.
Yeah. I got all these signs that Basil stepped down from Amazon today on the same day. And then we got the first song that we listened to was Switchback. So I feel like we're in good shape.
He got burned by Christian labels, Brian said, and he was in Christian metal in the 1990s.
There you go. He got burned by... Hey, if there's anybody that can screw up a good thing with a talented artist, leave it to the Christian label, ladies and gentlemen.
Look at Captain Pants. Ben Webb, terrible way to look at life. Won't get you anywhere.
Yeah.
Ben is probably trolling you.
Listen, you guys, the next time we do one of these live listens, you have to jump in here because, you got all the Village folks in full relief. Here's poor Captain. Here's poor Captain Pants trying to give Ben Webb
he's still a believer.
Of course he's still a believer. Why would he not be a believer just because a Christian record label screwed him?
There's lots of people that leave because of things that Christians did. It doesn't mean that, and then they sometimes circle back around.
Well, there's a difference between leaving and leaving Jesus.
When you leave, oh yeah, I know that. But when you leave, sometimes they're like, I'm done with that religion. I'm done with Jesus. But then they come back around. So they can leave, but not really be gone.
I like the fact that he's a Christian, but his stuff isn't really that preachy.
I know, you hate your
but I think
preachy. I like it.
I think we talked about that in Elysium. In Elysium, there were some biblical, allusions, but it worked in the song, and it wasn't, forced. I don't like the forced, hokey Christians. I don't like that stuff. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? I don't think that you wouldn't have been able to tell that Jesus was a Christian. He's at the party, he's chilling, whatever. You'd have known something's different about him, but you wouldn't have known, he's, whatever. I feel like that's the way that's the way we need to operate. There's got to be something about you where people are like, those guys are different. Mm-hmm. But it's not crazy and weird, man. I don't know, this Christian stuff gets weird sometimes. I don't know.
Baptized in fire. And he curses in many songs. Oh, you know what? There was a...
Didn't you think that if people swore in their songs that they couldn't be Christians? Didn't you think that?
Well, okay, I did think that if people swore that was not a good sign. But then there was... I cannot remember who it was. It's actually bugging me that I don't remember it. He was a Christian singer, but he did weird stuff, and he kind of moved in the spirit and would just sing maybe the repeated phrase over and over again.
Who?
I can't remember what his name was.
Is it a band?
No. He was just by himself, and it was really just record. It was really, I liked it, and he would curse sometimes, and I thought. I thought it was something. I thought it wasn't right, but yet at the same time, inwardly, I related with his music. Gosh, I can't remember who the name of it was.
Was it somebody I introduced you to?
No, it wasn't. I had it on a CD, and it was pink, and it was a burn CD. That was another thing too.
Thief!
I was I have a burn CD, and I'm listening to this Christian music that is not allowed in this college.
Straight to hell. What do you give the song?
It's a 10 for me. I loved it.
This is a solid, strong 9.2 for me.
Solid.
Shout out to the big homie.
I'm bringing
Clayton.
This one out with the kids, that's for sure.
Yeah, I knew that was gonna happen. You're gonna do it in the living room, everything.
Yeah.
Or maybe we do it when we're putting the product together. Who knows?
Yeah.
9.2.
10. Thanks, out. Sorry, out.
Gone.
Hey Villagers, this is Archero, and I'm inviting you to the Village March Madness Tournament. We're doing this as a fundraiser and to get together as a community and have a little bit of fun. If you're not familiar with March Madness, it is a 64-team college basketball tournament. The teams all play in single elimination round tournament style. Final winner is going to be the national champion. There's going to be a page set up on the ESPN website where you can make your guesses who's going to win each game. And we'll have a private group set up just for our village to compete against each other and see who predicted the winners best. To participate, it only costs $1. And all of that is going to go to help other villagers who are in need right now. This is all going to be happening in mid-March. More details are coming very soon about the dates, prizes, and how to join. I'll see you guys there. Keep it metal.